Hey everyone, Dr. Nuesse here again, and today let's talk about strategies you can use, really actionable things that you can plug into your normal day-to-day life that help make it easier to maintain your weight during the holidays. Holidays are traditionally pretty tricky times when it comes to weight management. We've got a lot of social engagements, lots of food, etc., etc. So let's talk about things that you can actually do and some strategies you can use to try to maintain your weight during this tricky period. And to help me along with this, I am going to introduce a special guest. Now, for those of you who are clients, you will know Shelby, but for those of you who are not, Shelby has been one of our managers for over a year now. She's actually done one of our programs. She knows it inside and out. She's got a master's in public health. She knows her stuff. And actually, she spearheaded this healthy eating during the holidays strategy guide. So I figured no better person than her to help out with this video. So without further ado, take it away, Shelby.
Hi Doc, thanks for having me. For those who don't know, I'm Shelby. I'm one of the weight loss specialists here at Brand New Weight Loss. I've been with the company for almost a year and a half now. I just graduated with my master's degree in public health nutrition, and I have my own health and wellness journey where I was able to lose over 120 pounds. So I coach from my educational background as well as my life experience. So today I'm here to talk about holidays. They're quickly approaching. Historically, this has been some of the toughest times for our patients. So my goal today is to help navigate through this seemingly challenging time. So what I'm going to focus on today is making an action plan. So obviously we have a goal, but to get to that goal, we have to create an action plan. Okay, so my first question to you is going to be, do you have a plan? As I've been meeting with patients, most people don't have a plan. They haven't really thought about it, or if they have, their plan might need some modification. So if your plan was to, say, eat completely on plan, I would be very supportive of that. But realistically, Thanksgiving and Christmas are those holidays where the average American consumes in the upwards of 4,000 calories. So ultimately, since we are focused on weight loss, getting people to their goal, consuming 4,000 calories isn't the best recommendation that we have. So my job is to help modify that, help figure out what your goal is and help align an action plan that will get you to your goal. So one of the things that I always say is we are going to plan for success. How do we do that? We are going to control the things we can control. So what I mean by that is make sure you get all of your water in. Typically, we require our patients to get at least 80 ounces of water. So on that day, that would be something that you absolutely can control. Make sure you get all of your water in before you sit down for your meal. Try and stick to a 6-hour eating window. That's another really great one. Don't skip a meal. So a lot of people go in with the mindset of like all or nothing. Like they say, I'm only going to eat one meal that day. And ultimately, for lots of reasons, that is not the best option. So our job is to help you develop a healthy relationship with food. And going in with that mindset of all or nothing is not successful long term. So what I recommend doing is asking, how many Thanksgiving meals are you planning on having? Typically, the answer should just be one. So whether that be lunch, whether that be dinner, I always coach my patients to make sure that they have a meal, whether that be if they're planning to have Thanksgiving dinner, to make sure that they have a meal that's on plan for lunch. Or if they're having lunch, I want to make sure that they don't eat so much at that lunch period that they are so hungry that they overindulge and overeat and then don't want dinner. So planning for success, that includes making sure that you are going to have 2 meals that day. If for some reason your lunch, your holiday meal is around 2 o'clock, which oftentimes families do that, I always suggest having a snack around 11 or 12. Most of our patients typically break their fast around 11 or 12, so go ahead and plan to have a snack. 2 ounces of protein, some free veggies, maybe that might be a deviled egg, maybe that might be, some other appetizer. We have veggie trays, different things like that. The next question that I typically ask is, what is your favorite dish? So whether that be your Thanksgiving meal is at lunch, whether it's at dinner, this is a question I always ask because a lot of people have family recipes that they eat, generation after generation, and they look forward to it on Thanksgiving. So what is your favorite dish? What is one thing that you would like on your plate that you would feel like you missed out on Thanksgiving if you didn't have? Okay, some people that's stuffing, some people that's sweet potato casserole, some people that's gravy. Wherever you're at, figure out what that looks like for you. Okay, and then my recommendation is always to have protein, which is going to be turkey or ham, a vegetable that's completely compliant, and then a fruit on your plate. So if we control those things, protein, fruit, and vegetables, that helps leave some room for some off-plan items. Okay, that may be sweet potato casserole for you, maybe that's stuffing. Don't know what your thing is, but try and pick one dish that you would like to have on your plate. Okay. When putting that on your plate, use moderation. Don't, that giant scoopful that you're used to putting on your plate, maybe reduce that a little bit. I always recommend eating that protein, fruit, and vegetable before you go for any other off-plan items. That's so that we can control some of those things we control. You need to be checking in with your hunger levels. Am I physically hungry still? A lot of times, you'd be surprised at how quickly you fill up. Turkey is very filling. The next thing that I'm going to coach on is asking yourself, is it worth it? So a little bit about me. I don't like dressing. I don't like stuffing or whatever you call it. I noticed a few years ago that I was putting it on my plate because it was available, it was an option, but I don't actually enjoy that. So this year and years past, I don't put it on my plate anymore. It's not worth it to me, okay? What is worth it to me? My great-grandmother's sweet potato casserole recipe. Every year that's gonna go on my plate. We get it twice a year, once at Thanksgiving, once at Christmas, and that is gonna go on my plate. When it comes to dessert, right? So some people are like, you know what, I can pass on all the food, but the pie, I want a piece of pie. I'm gonna say, go ahead and have a piece of pie. Have one piece of pie, have one serving of it, enjoy it. It's a treat. It's a day to celebrate. There's lots to be thankful for. But just remember that that treat can impact you, but enjoy it. Because if you're on a weight loss journey, whether you need to lose 5 pounds, whether you need to lose 100 pounds, okay? You need to enjoy that treat. We don't want you to feel guilty about it at all. But if you're able to enjoy that and move past it, then you're much more successful for long term. Other big thing is if while you've made this plan, right, and you're like, man, I already know what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring my own dish to my Thanksgiving, everything's gonna go great, and then you get there and you wound up not having enough time to eat, or you didn't get all your water in, or whatever it is, and you don't stick to the plan you made, that's okay. That absolutely is okay. Most important thing out of everything that you're going to hear from me today is get back to plan the next day, because enjoy your day, enjoy everything, but don't let it continue and don't let it snowball. Okay, so my recommendation is get back to plan the next day, and don't skip a meal because you feel like you ate too much or that you're punishing yourself for overindulging and having 2 pieces of pie. Don't do it. Just get back to plan the next day. Trust me, your future self will thank you. So those are my quick tips and tricks and how to navigate the holiday season. Just remember that we're working for progress, not perfection here, and the holidays are challenging for a lot of people, but everyone who wants to start their weight loss journey in January, this is the best time to do it because you're going to be 30 pounds ahead of them.